It's a very good evening to you all and welcome to the news at 8. My name is Natasha Burnett and Peacewejo Monica at the Sign Language Desk.
Indeed, it is a beautiful evening. We're live at the Hill in Pocketshill Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I'm Liam Bernard with Dora Ngube, who will be joining us much later from our Montrose studios. A look in the stories in the headlines tonight.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa in South Africa for the Liberation Movement Summit.
And in business news, Zimbabwean companies eye construction and building service markets in Zambia.
In sport news, FC Platinum maintains unbeaten run in the Casalaga Premier Soccer League.
Those were our leading stories tonight. We start off with the first report. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says education is a critical tool whose impact extends beyond the success of individuals, encompassing economic growth and social development. And now diplomatic correspondent Josephine Mugio gives us that report.
Established in 2019 by President Mnangagwa, the ED Unza Scholarship Trust seeks to give access to underprivileged gifted students to proceed with their education. After a golf tournament held this Friday, which saw the head of state taking part, a prize-giving and fundraising dinner held later in the evening saw over 600,000 United States dollars being raised towards the scholarship fund. President Mnangagwa thanked the captains of industry, philanthropists and corporate leaders for their continued support in giving towards the ED Unza scholarship.
I am most grateful to all those who came out today in support of this worthy charitable cause. This event reaffirms our shared commitment to uplifting the lives of vulnerable children in our community. It is a testament to the transformative power of compassion and unity of purpose in addressing the socio-economic needs of those from underprivileged backgrounds or families. Pachivanu chedu tinoti rume rimwe rikombi churu. Our country's development philosophy is nyika inovakwa, igotongwa, igonamatirwa nevenevayo. Hallelujah! Through your generous acts of kindness, you, our partners and benefactors, are being true to this mantra. You are playing your part towards building the Zimbabwe we all desire and we all want. And that is a Zimbabwe that leaves no one and no place behind.
President Mnangagwa said Zimbabwe has always recognized education as a powerful tool to lift families out of poverty while cultivating a skilled workforce to drive Zimbabwe's economy.
Education is critically important and its impact extends beyond the success of individuals to multiple aspects of life, from economic growth to social development and advancement of science and technology in our country. It is with this background that our country has always recognized education as a powerful tool to lift families out of poverty while cultivating a skilled workforce to drive Zimbabwe's growth. Since the adoption of heritage-based education 5.0 under the Second Republic, we are determined to leverage our education to accelerate modernization and industrialization, as well as enhance our country's competitiveness globally. further in line with our national constitution and international frameworks, such as SDG number 4, government is prioritizing access, equity and equality of education for vulnerable groups.
The ED Unza Scholarship Fund draws students from across Zimbabwe, targeting the less privileged who will have excelled in their secondary school. Some are given scholarships to study at the University of Zambia, while some are placed in local tertiary institutions. President Mnangagwa marveled at the growth of the trust since its inception in 2019.
To date, the ED Unza Scholarship Fund has grown remarkably from a modest beginnings and is now worth over $1 million US, if that makes sense. This achievement would not have been possible without the generous support, and I repeat, without the generous support of all stakeholders, some of whom are present here.
The fundraising dinner saw the golf clubs that were used by President Mnangagwa at the tournament being auctioned for 50,000 United States dollars. Scotland FC made the highest bid of 40,000 United States dollars for a soccer ball signed by President Mnangagwa. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, State House, Harare.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa is in South Africa for the Liberation Movement Summit, which began in Pretoria this Friday. He left Harare for the summit this afternoon.
The summit, which began this Friday, brings together liberation movements from Southern Africa. Speaking at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, Deputy Chief Secretary, Presidential Communications, Mr. George Charamba, said the summit is a back-to-basics platform for the liberation movements in the face of neo-colonial forces seeking to undermine them. Mr. Charamba said these negative forces have created a new environment under which the liberation movements have to operate in, hence the need to get together.
Well, this is actually a convocation of liberation movements in the Southern African region. And as such, it is a back to basics, back to roots, come together of liberation movements. We are in an environment which is completely and radically changed. Geopolitically, you see what is happening across the world. These major power shifts. Within our region, we have seen the growth of some very negative forces which seek to undermine, if not overthrow, liberation movements. I can make reference to an organization which has just folded up, and hallelujah it did, Brandest Foundation, right, which has been working quite assiduously to try and overturn liberation movements and liberation governments in quite a number of countries. Yes, succeeding partially here and there, but thankfully failing elsewhere. Now, that's defining the new environment within which liberation movements have to seek power, have to obtain power, have to exercise power as governing institutions. And when we have such a major seismic shift, within the global context and within the regional context, it means liberation movements must get together and take stock of the environment. Otherwise, their survivability is in question. And this is exactly why the president is going down south. It is to try and confer, share notes with his counterparts so that we can see how we can, as it were, re-strategize against changing times.
The liberation movements attending the summit include ZANU-PF, ANC of South Africa, MPLA of Angola, Namibia SWAPO, Chama cha Mapinduzi of Tanzania, and Mozambique's Frelimo. The president was seen off by Vice Presidents General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga and Colonel Retired Kembo Moadi, service chiefs, and several senior government officials.
Meanwhile, ZANU-PF President and First Secretary Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa is arrived in South Africa for the Liberation Movement Summit, which began this Friday with high-level engagement set for this Sunday. Comrade Mnangagwa touched down at Waterkloof Air Base in Pretoria and was received by ANC National Executive Council member Comrade Bejani Chauke, ZANU-PF Secretary for External Affairs, Comrade Simbarashe Mbengegwi, Zimbabwe Ambassador to South Africa, David Hamadziripi, and embassy officials. ZANU-PF Secretary General Dr. Obed Mpofu spoke to ZPC News earlier and shared more details about the summit being attended by 6 liberation movements in the SADC region.
It is very important. That's why I think most of the, if not all, the heads of states will be attending. See, the region is under threat, as you are aware, from those that detract on us, from our detractors. You know, when elections in Mozambique took place, there were some serious issues in an attempt to destabilize the country. The same applied to some countries within the region that have gone through elections. And this meeting is likely to bring together the strategies that the region has to come up with to ensure that they are not divided.
Before the high-level engagements, political party wings have been engaged in deliberations to find ways of repelling renewed imperial pressures.
We have the women's leagues from all the countries, the youth leagues from all the countries, the war veterans from all the countries. So they have already started deliberating on issues that are likely to be debated by the Central Secretary Generals, and after that we refer them to the summit.
The Liberation Movement Summit is expected to provide a united platform to confront challenges while deepening intra-party solidarity and realigning liberation movements with the socio-economic aspirations of a new generation.
Now, the road rehabilitation program is progressing with the bush clearing now underway in preparation for the construction of the Mavuku interchange project along the Harare-Mutare Road.
The ZBC News crew, which visited the site this Saturday, witnessed the earth movers busy clearing the area to pave way for the construction of the tolls, which shall be used by motorists while construction of the mini interchange will be taking place. The development has since been welcomed by motorists who said it will reduce congestion and also accidents, which have become increasingly common along the route.
Zvakawanda zvinoitika ipapa saka at least kana pakaita that interchange inobatsira.
Interchange ichabatsira kuti ma-accidents ave mashoma, zvigobatsirawo kuti vanhu vane madrivers wo pavanodrive vanenge vari safe, nokuti panguva panenge paine congestion paya kune mamwe madriver ari reckless anonouya vamwe vachibvawo iye anopinda mulane risiri rake.
Apa vanenge vatigonera because traffic makuseni iri kutikwadza because tokunoita 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours kubva apa pamavhukuteni kunobata paroundabout. Saka rava vakaisa imwe road apa vanenge vatibatsira because zvinoita kuti tifambewo fast.
In a statement, the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development committed itself to the transformation of infrastructure. The new project follows the completion of the Trabablas interchange, which has been commended for reducing traffic flows along Harare-Masvingo Road. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe and China have signed a memorandum of understanding to collaborate in the areas of wetland, forestry and grassland management, a significant step forward in global environmental cooperation. The agreement was signed on the sidelines of the 15th conference of the parties to the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands COP15 in Victoria Falls this Friday.
The MOU centers around collaboration with China's International Mangrove Center, IMC, which has played a pivotal role in supporting global biodiversity, mitigating climate change, and promoting sustainable livelihoods. To date, 18 countries, including 7 African nations, have partnered with China under the IMC initiative. This latest MOU is expected to yield multiple benefits for Zimbabwe. These include strengthened wetland conservation efforts, technical and academic exchange programs, joint research opportunities, access to advanced research equipment, and enhanced capacity development. It also aims to deepen the understanding of mangrove ecosystems.
As we have signed this historic agreement, we reaffirm our commitment to forging a brighter future for our nations and the world at large. Together, we will continue to nurture a partnership that is built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared vision for more sustainable and environmentally conscious world.
Mangrove ecosystems are unique coastal environments found in tropical and subtropical regions. They consist of salt-tolerant trees and shrubs that thrive along shorelines, estuaries, and river deltas. Mangroves are vital in the purification of seawater, mitigating storm surges, preserving biodiversity, among others, thus playing a critical role in climate resilience. China has outlined a series of further benefits under the MOU.
New technologies will be introduced to Zimbabwe, especially on the monitoring for wetland, and it will also provide capacity building, such as training courses for young talents, for technicians from Zimbabwe or other countries.
Established in 2024, the International Mangrove Center is an accredited Ramsar facility. It serves as a global platform for enhanced exchange and cooperation among Ramsar member states. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
The Presidential Health Ambassadors Empowerment Fund has been launched in the capital in a major show of support for frontline health workers in Zimbabwe. Our next report.
Nurses and other frontline workers were the focus this Friday as the Presidential Health Ambassadors Empowerment Fund was officially launched in Harare, a boost for Zimbabwe's health sector. The 200,000 United States dollars revolving fund will benefit members of the Health Ambassadors for Economic Development, who include nurses, student health workers, and other practitioners across the country.
I would like to thank the organizers of this function and also the president for realizing that the nurses of Zimbabwe are dedicated. They are there to save the nation.
As student nurses, we feel privileged to have this kind of opportunity.
Dr. Paul Tungwarara, Special Presidential Investment Advisor, highlighted the significance of the fund as a direct show of confidence in Zimbabwe's health workers and the President's commitment to uplifting the lives of Zimbabweans.
The initial allocation dedicated by His Excellency for this vital empowerment initiative for health ambassadors for ED is $200,000. This empowerment is designed to enhance your capacity as you serve our people. It is meant to provide tangible support where it is needed most. His Excellency sees you. He sees the tireless work you do in our clinics, our hospitals, and our communities.
ZANU-PF Director General Brigadier General Retired Ezekiel Zabanyana encouraged the unity and unwavering focus among health ambassadors.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, has always wanted and is always wanting to promote, propel, protect, and project your empowerment interests in our health ambassadors, Boys Zamdara, the youth, the business, communities, and the entire nation.
The launch of the Health Ambassadors Empowerment Fund not only underscores the importance of health workers in national development, but also reflects the ruling party and government's commitment to inclusive empowerment. Patience Nyagato, CBC News, Harare.
Africa is poised to leverage South Africa's chairing of the G20 and hosting of the 11th P20 Parliamentary Speaker Summit to champion best practices in legislation, oversight and advancement of youth, women and gender issues.
The Pan-African Parliament and the Parliament of South Africa this Friday held a joint meeting in Midrand, South Africa, ahead of the G20 and the 11th P20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit that will be held later this year in South Africa, a first on African soil. The joint meeting underscored Africa's commitment to presenting a unified voice on critical global issues impacting vulnerable populations, women and youth empowerment issues.
The P20 further provides an opportunity, notwithstanding, to advocate the increased funding for empowerment programs across Africa in climate change, in healthcare, education, trade and building public economies. Climate change and gender integration in particular as an opportunity to address disproportionate impacts of climate change on women and girls.
Let us remind ourselves, gender equality is not a women's issue. It's a societal imperative. It is a cornerstone of sustainable development, peace and prosperity. Let our voices shape the outcome document of the P20 summit.
The P20 must commit to not only talking about youth empowerment, but building systems that deliver on youth empowerment in legislation, in policy, and in budget allocations. Our priorities for the P20 must be clear. South Africa's P20 presidency intends to elevate key youth-related issues, including unemployment and skills. We need to invest in innovation, the green economy.
Pan-African Parliament President Chief Fortune Charumbira said the upcoming summits provides a significant opportunity for African priorities to be integrated into the global agenda.
So we gather today under the theme, harnessing parliamentary diplomacy for the realization of global solidarity, equality and sustainability.
The P20 summit, which will be held in Cape Town, will provide an opportunity to showcase Africa's potential, strengthen parliamentary diplomacy, and define and advance the role of African parliaments in international diplomacy, while ensuring that Africa's agendas are shared on the global stage. John Nandara, ZBC News, Midrand.
Prompted by the need to mold morally upright children, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, took her Nanga Gota Inkriba Moral Restoration Initiative to Glenorah in Harare. Let's take a look.
Over 3,000 primary school learners from 29 schools in Harare province thronged Chembira Primary School for a Nanga Gota Ikliwa session with the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, this Thursday. Dr. Mnangagwa's first port of call was a cooking post where girls from different schools showcased their prowess in preparing traditional dishes, including sadzare munga, sadzare zviyo, mutakura, semp in peanut butter, mutetenerwa, madora, mufushwa nedovi, rice in peanut butter, mbambaira, zvinyenze, roadrunner chicken, matemba in peanut butter, and goat stew. The First Lady was amazed by the impressive responses given by the girls when she inquired on how some of the traditional meals are prepared. The meat prepared by the girls was from goats and chickens, which were slaughtered by boys with the assistance of elderly men. The girls also exhibited their skills in pounding traditional grains and were joined by Dr. Mnangagwa and Gogo Aida Mashonganyika, who showed the girls how they used to do it during their youthful days. Thereafter, Amai proceeded to the Nanga, where an electric atmosphere engulfed the venue as the children broke into song. They were eagerly waiting to tap into the First Lady's wisdom. In the Nanga, the girls had important life lessons imparted to them by the First Lady, female teachers, and women from the community. The First Lady rallied girls to embrace the values of hard work, discipline, obedience, and resilience for them to realize their dreams. Amai Mnangagwa underscored the importance of education, imploring young girls to shun social vices. She also stressed the importance of personal and menstrual hygiene while imploring girls to keep their virginity.
Vanambuya, vanava, toda kuvadzidzisa zvokuti mwana musikana chii, sei ari musikana nokuti achava amai mangwana. Ada kuva mai here akashoreka kuti vazongokura hawa. Kwavakabva navava tinovaziva. Ndiwo musikana wacho here watiri kuda kuti ange ari atiri. Saka mumwe nemumwe makasununguka kutaurira mwana uyu, mwana wangu uchiteerera wazvinzwa ka? Atizogara tichikuona zuva nezuva. Saka zuva ranhasi rakakukoshera mwanangu.
The First Lady also inquired from girls how they turn away boys who make amorous advances at them. A grade 7 pupil at Chipembere High School, Tanatswa Nzombe's response left all in stitches. The Nanga session was also attended by elderly women from the community and teachers who also gave wise counsel to the young girls.
Kuti unzi musikana wakaita zvawakaita izvi unofanirwa kukura uri musikana akazvibata, usingatendere kutamba nevakomana uchibatwa.
Tinonzi munhu handiti taurira ari pedo newe utaure kuti uri temberi yaMwari, taurirai temberi yaMwari, musatambise miviri wenyu.
The session was highly interactive, with learners asking questions about various issues that affect them as young girls. Dr. Mnangagwa and other women gave befitting responses. While the First Lady and elderly women sat down with girls in the Nanga, teachers, traditional leaders and elderly men from the community counselled boys in the Gota. Issues that dominated the Gota session include that of same-sex relationships, drug and substance abuse, sexual immorality and bullying.
Vana vechikoro here kana kuti vanhu vakuru? Hazvichanzwisisike nokuti vana vechikoro vakuizviita muchivande. Ndimi mazvireva, handitarisire kuona pakati penyu paina achabata dombo kana kubata chinodhaka, handiti? Tamboudzwa pano nenhau yeglue, tamboudzwa nyaya yeCrystal meth, tamboudzwa nenyaya yembanje, tikaudzwa kuipa kwazvo zvese, taudzwa zvakare zvemushonga wechikosoro uri kutorwa overdose. Munouziva? Pakati penyu handidi kuona anobata chii? Anobata zvinodhaka.
After the separate sessions, Amai conducted a combined session where she gave both female and male learners wise counsel.
Ndauya ndakanangana nevana from grade 4 to grade 7 nenyaya yekuti nyika yedu kwayava kuenda nenyaya yekusatevedzera nokusakudza unhu hwedu savanhu, kusakudza mafambiro edu, kusakudza miviri yedu chaiyo chaiyo, kusaremekedza vabereki vedu, kusaremekedza chero varairidzi. Kwese kwatinofamba tiri kuzviwana muvana, asi zvichitangira pamazera iwaya zvichizoenda kumberi kwokuti mukaona nyika yedu nhasi yapinda chirwere chemadrugs. Kubvira pamazera evana ivava ava vantori vakuru nekadiki kari kuECD kari kutoziva kuri kunowanikwa madrugs. Saka moona kuti yava hondo yedu tese kuti baba, mai, murairidzi vechechi vese vari pano ndinokuremekedzai. Yava nyaya yekuti tose ngatichiisai musoro pamwe chete nokuti vana vedu vapera. Kana makaona iko zvino ndine pambare apo ndine imba yangu yandiri kumbotamba zvangu nevana vakomana nevasikana vakura chaizvo nevakura vakawanda vakapinda mumadrugs. Musi wandiri kuti uyai tizoregista vakatoya homwe dzakaremerwa nemadrugs. Pavanonotariswa homwe dzavo chibhini kuzara kudai madrugs emhando dzakasiyana siyana. Mumba mapinda hondo, mumba makuda kuti muchigadzirwa.
During the lively session, the mother of the nation also advised youngsters to stay away from drugs and intoxicating substances and to use social media platforms in a productive way.
Vana vangu zuva ranhasi ndauya ndakananga nezvikoro zvose 29 zvataurwa zviri pano kuti tauya nenyaya yenhanga kuvasikana, gota kuvakomana. Ndiwo hwaro vana vangu hwekuti unokura uchiziva imbuva yako yaunofamba nayo baba namai, mbuya natete vasipo. Kwauchafamba kwese uri kutofamba nedzidziso yekuti ndiwe ani uye chii chauda kuzova. Zvinotangira pachikoro paprimary pamuri, tichizoenda pasecondary, toenda kuuniversity dzidzo yepamusoro. Tochitsvaga manje profession yatoda kuzoita tabva kumauniversity ikoko. Asi unokusvika here mwanangu kusina hunhu iwe pachako. Atina kuita nhanga gota nhasi kuti mubva matanga kutoti pano iwe uri wekuchikoro chekupinda kuda. Tati muve vana vakanaka, vane focus kuti kuchikoro ndiri kunoitei. Ndinoda mwana musikana ane hunhu hwakanaka, ndoda mwana mukomana ane hunhu hwakadini zvakare zvakanaka. Mukomana chengeta musikana wawe ndisisi vako. Musikana chengeta uchengere mukomana wawe ndibhude vako.
Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Metropolitan Province, Senator Charles Tawengwa, said the program is key in the preservation of the country's rich cultural heritage.
Tinofara nemabasa enyama nekuti tinoona chirongwa chenhanga negota chinotapudzira dzidziso kuvana vedu, izvo zvinoita vakure vachiziva tsika dzedu sevana veZimbabwe.
The youngsters who benefited from the First Lady's Moral Restoration Program gave plaudits to Amai.
It was a great day with them. Tadzidziswa kuti tinofana kuti hygiene. Mukomana akati ndinokuda nofana kurifundisa politely with a firm voice yokuti haazodzoka tiende padzidzo dzedu tirambe tichienderera mberi kuti nyika yedu kuvandudzika.
Tadzidzisawo kuti zvakawanda nemaelders kwakatanga tiri. Vatozoti tinofana kukoshesa chikoro zvakanyanya zvikuru uye kuti tinyatsodzidza tine shungu.
Tadzidziswa zvekuzvichengeta sevasikana kuti tive neucleanliness. Tadzidziswa uye zvakawanda tisaite zvedrug and substance abuse.
Asi ndoda kuti ndamai pandaenda kugota tadzidziswa zvakawanda kuti amufana kushandisa madrugs because anokuwadza mapapu, then kuchikoro mufana kuenda zvakanaka, mufana kugula.
The mother of the nation in her benevolence handed over stationery to all learners from the 29 schools present, while female students received sanitary wear to ensure that they do not miss their studies during their monthly cycles. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
The just ended Masvingo Investment Conference has highlighted the urgent need to increase production across key sectors of the economy, particularly in agriculture and mining, to strengthen industry and commerce.
Given the abundant natural resources in Masvingo province, including water and mineral deposits, delegates who attended the just-ended investment conference agreed that unlocking the province's full potential hinges on accelerating efforts in modernizing agriculture through irrigation development and harnessing mineral wealth through exploration and extraction. In his presentation during the conference, the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Enshas Masuka, emphasized the need for massive investment in irrigation infrastructure given available water resources.
We must climate-proof agriculture. We must de-link production from rainfall. This is the context in which we are investing in irrigation development, in dam construction. Zimbabwe has 10,600 dams capable of irrigating 2 million hectares. Sadly, only 1/10 is irrigated. As of yesterday, 194 hectares available for irrigation.
Mines and Mining Development Minister Honorable Winston Chitando said mineral exploration and extraction using modern techniques presents one of the biggest investment opportunities in the mining sector.
In terms of investment, the biggest investment which we seek for is for exploration, so that we understand what we have. But also at the same time, Honorable Minister Mtuli gives the ministry some money now and again, although it's not adequate, for government through the mining promotion company to undertake exploration, so that we understand, we know what we have.
Industry and Commerce Minister Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, who also addressed the conference, highlighted the importance of increasing raw material production to support local manufacturing, processing and trade.
I'm worried about the last statistic of the contribution of value-added exports to total exports. What it means is that as a country, we're exporting 75% of our products raw. And this is a challenge for my ministry in particular, working closely with my colleague ministers here present, on how we can focus more on value-adding our minerals and value-adding our agricultural produce.
The event, which was organized by the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, the Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency, and the Office of the President and Cabinet, saw the official launch of Compendium of Investment and Business Opportunities in Masvingo Province, and was running under the theme Invest in Masvingo, Your Gateway to Economic Growth for Vision 2030. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
To interact with us, we are streaming live right now on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. We're also on various media platforms, X, Instagram, TikTok, as well as our WhatsApp channel, ZBC News Online. Also, visit our website, that's www.zbc.co.zw. Natasha.
Thank you. And now we take you through stories you can still expect in tonight's bulletin. In business, Zimbabwean companies eye construction and building service markets in Zambia. Coming up later on in sport, FC Platinum maintains unbeaten run in the Casalaga Premier Soccer League. We're off to a break. Stay with us.
All parents who have children, young adults, non-school going, who are suffering from drugs and substance abuse and require rehabilitation and reform, please visit the newly established Angel of Hope Drug Rehabilitation Center in Mbare at the Mbare Stodet Arena. Registration is free. Call us now on 0868 800 8586 for assistance.
The adventure begins now. Pack your bags, the mountains are calling, and the heartbeat of Zimbabwean tourism is ready to welcome you at the 2025 Sanganai Hlanganani Kumbanai Tourism Expo. Let each mile steer your soul and every stop ignite new wonder. As we travel eastward, pause and savor the moment. A warm bite and the comforting aroma of homegrown hospitality. You are halfway to magic, where nostalgia meets the promise of the Eastern Highlands. Gear up for the ultimate strength Zimbabwe, Zimbo.
Did you know you are now required to obtain a ZBC radio license before you can renew your vehicle insurance and Zinara Motor Vehicle License Disc? Licenses can be purchased from ZBC offices, Zinara offices, and various insurance agents across the country. Did you also know that you can now be exempted only if your vehicle is not equipped with a radio receiver? For that, you will be required to obtain an exemption certificate from the ZBC provincial offices only. Be compliant. Stay informed. Purchase your license today to avoid any inconveniences. T's and C's apply.
Institute of Chartered Loss Control and Private Security Management hosted a Standards and Guidelines Preparatory Workshop, which is setting the foundation for standards and guidelines to be used by the loss control and private security management practitioners in Zimbabwe. The aim of the workshops, which are being done in key provinces, is to conscientize the members and other practitioners on the standards and guidelines and get input from them so as to develop homegrown standards that will be used in Zimbabwe and beyond. The workshop attracted practitioners from the region. One delegate from Botswana's Security and Fire Summit implored other countries and their members to take part in what Zimbabwe has for the region and the continent at large.
You can't control how the night will go down, but with a Sure Thing connection, you're in control of your entertainment, work and gaming.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The inaugural Global SME Ministerial Meeting has just ended in South Africa with focus on the role of small and medium enterprises in the development of nations. Let's get more on that report.
The meeting, which started on the 24th of this month until this Saturday, brought together ministers responsible for SMEs to deliberate on how to enhance entrepreneurs' access to finance and their development. Zimbabwe's Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Senator Monica Mchangwa, stressed on the need for a commitment to resolving regulatory bottlenecks related to cross-border trade and investment.
Access to finance is not merely a business necessity, it is a strategic imperative that enables SMEs to withstand shocks, to invest, grow, and fully participate in the green and digital economies. In Zimbabwe, SMEs, like what I've heard from all the presentations, they are engines of inclusive, sustainable development. They are SMEs who are doing very well in manufacturing, in mining, in farming, and many other tourism, other sectors.
The Global SME Ministerial Meeting serves as a vital platform for fostering partnerships and setting a collaborative agenda aimed at propelling SMEs towards a more sustainable, inclusive, and prosperous future. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News.
And now back home from the capital, we cross over live to our Montreux studio where Dora Ngube is on standby to take us on. Dora, it is a beautiful evening. It's over to you.
And Natasha for taking us on for the first part of the bulletin. And good evening to you and, of course, a lovely evening to our viewers. We continue from our Montreux news desk. Calls are intensifying for authorities to urgently address the worsening health and environmental risk posed by the Richmond landfill site, commonly referred to as Ngozi Mine. Our reporter Yolanda Moyo filed this report.
Established in 1994, the Richmond landfill site had an estimated lifespan of 20 to 25 years. Over the years, the dump site has become a stark symbol of urban neglect, spewing noxious fumes and the squatter camps sprawling around the area, posing a tangible threat to the thousands of residents living in its shadow.
Iskolo has called that far from Ngozi Mine plus into Tlani figure, especially like his lama shortages of our classrooms tino form 2. So the slapanema and into tiabi affect our breathing problems, abanyama headache.
Into to some kind of very zeshlukumeza indlela oyabusuphefumula ngayo. Kuyakubangela sometimes ukuthi ucine sugula khwehlela vela abanye sometimes iyahitsha intuthu yangikhona ngoba iyaphoma ukuthunqa end time nje.
Dump site yedu toida nokuti kana nesuwo inotiraramisa zvayo but pautano manje aichisina kutimira zvakanaka pachihutsi.
Tava nemakore chingozvikomblena nazvo, saka kukomblena kwacho havasi kumboziwa zvatotaura ngazigadziriziwa ene hurumende yatinzwa
the need for the local authority to shift its priorities and align its waste management practices with national environmental policies was emphasized.
Some challenges that are being experienced by citizens.
Political leaders have also stepped in, urging the Bulawayo City Council to act in the best interest of the people.
We call for urgent intervention from local authorities and the government to address this crisis. Immediate action is needed to suppress fires, improve management, and explore alternative waste management solutions, such as recycling and waste-to-energy systems. We also demand greater community engagement and transparency in finding a lasting solution.
The city's Director of Health Services, Dr. Edwin Mzingwane, was unequivocal when pressed on the possibility of constructing a modern waste management plant at the dump site.
Anyone who is thinking of a waste-to-energy plant, they must go and look for an industrial site and put up a waste-to-energy plant there, such that we divert refuse or solid waste from depositing a landfill to their particular site. The idea is that we must not have another landfill after that one.
For many residents settled around the Richmond site, hope is now pinned on the recently launched minimum service delivery standards framework by government to move from paper to practical implementation by the Bulawayo City Council. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Shurugi North residents are enjoying the benefits of the government's rural industrialization drive following the electrification of 3 schools, a chief's homestead, a clinic and a business center by the Rural Electrification Fund. Courage Wushe was in Shurugi and files the following report.
Efforts by government to leave no one and no place behind in the development matrix are continuing across the country, with 3 Shurugi North schools, a business center, a clinic and chief's homestead being the latest to benefit from government's rural electrification program. The development has come as a relief to local schools who have never had electricity since independence.
No fara ni kuya kwakaita magetsi ne makaye kuti makompyuta sepa makonise primary school anga aripo asi chachisipo magetsi.
Taita mvura panapa magetsi achinetsa, mvura ichinetsa.
Totenda zvikuru manesi avakurapa zvakanaka. Kunyange vanoda kubatsigwa vobatsigwavo mune zvakanaka.
Rural Electrification Fund board member Mr. Fungai Mbetsa gave an update on similar programs being spearheaded by the fund.
We have electrified 10,987 institutions, public institutions and homesteads countrywide, and installed 8 community solar mini grids in all provinces.
Government is upbeat that the electrification program will play a pivotal role in stimulating growth and development in the province.
The province is a proud beneficiary of the Second Republic's national renewable energy policy that promotes and supports utilization of clean, renewable and alternative energy technologies.
We have informed the president, and he has given us a directive that we must finish electrifying all primary and secondary schools, all clinics in the rural areas by 2026, so that there is no child who is left behind.
The project that gobbled 200,000 United States dollars has seen Magumise and Makonese primary schools, Takunda Secondary School, Swarota Clinic and Business Center, and Chief Nema's homestead being electrified. Courage Wishes, ZBC News, Shirogwe.
Security forces have been employed to adhere to professional standards and ethics as the Second Republic continues to gain ground in fighting the drug and substance scourge and improve health service delivery.
150 health practitioners drawn from different security services sectors that include the Zimbabwe National Army, Air Force of Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe Republic Police, the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, graduated at Health Service Training School in Mbizo Barracks in Bulawayo this weekend after completing 4 different courses. The courses include General Nursing, State Certified Traumatology, Environmental Health Technician, and Medical Assistance Class 3. Guest of honor at the graduation ceremony, Chief of Staff Administration Staff, Major General Asha Walter Tapumane encouraged the graduates to be professional in the discharge of their duties.
Let there be no room for malpractices and dishonesty, as it puts the lives of your fellow servicemen and women at risk. Always be fully conscious and adhere to the professional standards and ethics as you discharge your duties. Pilferage of medicines kutovhura kafamasi kako kusango and dressings shall not be tolerated, and your commanders are not going to condone such actions. You are strongly warned to desist from such acts of dishonesty, as stern disciplinary action will be taken against the offenders.
The graduating group comprised of 49 females and 101 males. Aiperi Mudau, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that's it from us here at Montrose. Leanne and Natasha, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Dora. Thank you so much for giving us that part of the bulletin. And now taking it up from Harare, we're going straight to our... Okay, there we are. The ZANU-PF Women's League Inter-District meeting held in Mutare this Saturday saw the party wing reaffirming its commitment to growing the party support base under the leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Our next report.
The well-attended ZANU-PF Manicaland Women's League Inter-District meeting held in Mutare this Saturday saw the provincial chairperson Comrade Dorothy Mabika rallying women to remain pacesetters in driving the party's mobilization agenda as well as the national development vision.
Titaure zvinovaka, tisadivhaidhane, ngatishande musangano, patiri pese ngatidhifende ZANU-PF. Patiri pese ngatidhifende nyika yedu. Patiri pese ngatitaure zvakanaka zvaPresident Mnangagwa. Ngatitaure mabasa ari kuitwa naPresident Mnangagwa.
ZANU-PF Politburo member Comrade Irene Zindi and Central Committee member Honorable Gertrude Mtandi expressed happiness with the unity being exhibited by women in Manicaland province, adding their voices on the need to scale up the mobilization drive in support of the party and President Mnangagwa.
Mamtari Tanzania MP anditi tayamchidzwa tese tiri pano takakanganisika kaipapa asi tinofana kuramba tichishingirira MP tiri kumuisa muno Mamtari weZANU-PF. Pano pataurwa nyaya yekubatana Mutare district, ngatibatanei. Hanzi ukaita chakanaka wazviitira, ukaita chakaipa wazviitira. Madzimai, let's defend our party, let's defend our president. Ngatidei president wedu ari kutigonera wani.
The meeting was also attended by Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution Advocate Mshek Mugadza, who challenged women to refrain from being spectators in the economic affairs of the country.
Pese parikupinda murume imi munokwanawo. Tine makambani ari kuinvesta muno, ari kuuya ndinokupai 1 paseri peChristmas pass apo ipatoroda ichatora vanhu 300 pakambani ipapo 2000 vachange vachiita kuminda uko kunokama mukaka wemapine trees. Azvibonetsa kungoba.
So far been held in Buera, Makoni, Nyanga and Mutare, with the provincial executive set to visit Zimundo of meetings. Kenya Sivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
The government has applauded the continued collaboration between traditional leaders and national efforts to combat hunger and poverty, following Chief Negoma's food distribution initiative, which reflects the values championed by the Second Republic.
In a significant boost to Zimbabwe's food security enhancement efforts, Chief Negomo's food distribution initiative reached Guruve district this Friday, bringing hope and sustenance to 400 vulnerable households.
Tikutenda nechitiko chaitika chikuna mambo watipa magomo watiziva kuti kune zvirema zvisingakwanisa kupinda mumunda azvigonwe kana kuita chimwe chiro.
Tikuzvitenda nzara yanga yatikuwadza iswa matakwanisa kana kurima kana kuita sei.
Kufara chaiko tide varamba vachitiyeuka zvaramba zvakawedzera.
Chief Negomo, the driving force behind the initiative, emphasized the outreach is rooted in the age-old values of unity and communal care.
Ndatanga ndaona mambo chipuriro sekuru vangu tikazoona mambo bepura shumba ndafara chaizvo nokuti tinosangana muclub yedu yatinosangana semadzimambo asi unozoda kuti usvikewo pagereji mumwe wako saka tinobva tati paunenge uchisvika pachivanhu chedu ukamaiga svaka unozadziswa nekudya saka unouya wakatakurawo kuti tisimbaradze umambo hwedu tichisheyana tichionawo kuti vagere sei nematambudziko avanenge vachiningirika kana tichikwanisawo kumadzimura tichidzimurana.
Similar outreach visits have benefited communities in Rushinga and Bire district, with optimism that more districts in Mashonaland Central Province will benefit from the program.
Tinoda kutenda mambo negomo nekutitsvagira kwavakaita zvokudya zviri apa mafood hampers atawanikwa tichipa avo vanorarama neurema vakwegura nemachild-headed families. Tinoda kutenda zvikuru mafambiro aya ndio mafambiro atinotarisira arikutarisirwawo zvakare nemutungamiriri wedu wenyika His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa.
Chief Chipuriro, Chief Bepura and Guruve North Legislator Comrade Tendai Pinduka highlighted that a lot can be achieved when traditional values and national development goals converge.
Mhuri inenge isina chokubata vanepowo tukamu tokuti vararame saka tinofara nazvo zvikuru. Ndapiwa zvokuti ndipe mawadza angu ese.
Ndafara zvikuru nenyaya iyoyo, ndinotenda zvikuru.
Takaona basa iri makaritanga kubva kare muchitenderera matunhu ose emuno muprovince, saka tinokutendai kuuya kwamaita kuno mauya kuzotisimbisa mauya kuzotisimudzira.
The food distribution program, which reached out to Chifamba and Guruve Center, is complementing efforts implemented to boost household food security, such as Fumbudza and Twasa, which benefited many households in Guruve. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruve.
News at 8 is off to a break. Do stay with us. We return with business news after these short messages.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you remember.
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect and stay connected to DSTV Compact and get the best football on us.
To all our valued viewers and listeners, ZBC encourages you to purchase listeners' licenses to support an informed nation. By doing so, you will gain access to authentic and accurate information, entertainment and education from trusted sources. Obtain your radio and television licenses at various ZBC and Zinara offices across the country and all authorized agencies. Be compliant, stay informed. Purchase your license today. To all our valued viewers and listeners, ZBC encourages you to purchase listeners' licenses to support an informed nation. By doing so, you will gain access to authentic and accurate information, entertainment and education from trusted sources. Obtain your radio and television licenses at various ZBC and Zinara offices across the country and all authorized agencies. Be compliant, stay informed. Purchase your license today.
A warm welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Straight into business news. Representatives of local companies are engaging potential trade partners in Zambia to explore opportunities in the construction and building sector. Stanley James gives us our business report tonight.
The mission, which is part of our Zimbabwe strategy to grow Zimbabwe's exports in the SADC region, is being made on the realization of increased demand for locally produced goods driven by growth in the infrastructure activities in Zambia. Local firms are therefore upbeat about deriving benefits by establishing their operations in the northern regional neighboring economy. Zimbabwe has reaffirmed a commitment towards the growth of the regional markets.
We have so many Zimbabwean companies already and Zimbabwean builders who are here in Zambia constructing in the construction industry. And I must say, by bringing in these companies that we have brought, it also presents a lot of benefits to them in that if they partner with Zambian companies here, they can engage in joint ventures.
Under the regional market drive, Zimbabwe is exploring opportunities in the SADC region, taking advantage of the relaxed trade protocols and harmonization.
And now in the arts segment, artists have been called upon to harness their creative influence to promote Ubuntu, the African philosophy of humanity, compassion and unity through their work.
With the implementation of heritage-based curriculum designed to foster national identity, patriotism and practical skills through an emphasis on local culture and resources, schools are warming up to the call through training music. This Friday saw the graduation of more than 200 music teachers with a call for them to produce content that reinforces peace, empathy, respect for others and national cohesion, especially in an area marked by social fragmentation and digital influence.
Zvinobatsira fani kuti vamwe vakakwanisa kuti vaende kuzvikoro vanodzidziswawo kuti zvakati zvinoitwa zvakati hazvingaitwi.
Vari kudzidzisa vana zvine chekuita neculture yedu futi mukati. Amicho ndo zvichabatsira kudzima dzimwe dzimbo dzatakunzwa dzakungoimba zvinonyadzisira dzokuti hauchakwanisa kuteerera paine vanyarikani.
Yamo mu new curriculum and ya heritage based kuti vana vafunde zvipendani, ngororombe, ese ma instruments ekare anga arashika anga asingachazikanwi.
The graduates are convinced that the knowledge acquired is vital in fostering a sense of belonging and shared identity among Zimbabweans while also preserving cultural values for future generations.
Since we have got in this new curriculum, we have got the arts and music. Yave part of the curriculum. We've got more teachers now that can specialize and do this thing. Vachiri vanonoza zvavari kuita.
Zvakutibatsira kuti even unhu hwedu vana vedu vakunzwisisa culture yedu nemusic, indigenous music. Waitu kamusoti indigenous aita dzokunzwisisa.
Inotobetsera kuti tinyatsogona kubetsera kunyangwe tadzokera kuzvikoro kwatinodzidzisira. Tigone kupa ruzivo kana zvokuti ndogona kutonzi sezvo imi mundotori neruzivo rwezve-VPA uyai mutibetsere kuchikoro kwedu.
The graduates believe that by integrating cultural education into schools, learners will grow up appreciating the value of identity, history and community key pillars in strengthening national unity. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Stay with us. We're off to a break. We return with sports news after these messages.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect and stay connected to DSTV Compact and get the best football on us.
Did you know you are now required to obtain a ZBC radio license before you can renew your vehicle insurance and Zinara motor vehicle license disc? Licenses can be purchased from ZBC offices, Zinara offices, and various insurance agents across the country. Did you also know that you can now be exempted only if your vehicle is not equipped with a radio receiver. For that, you will be required to obtain an exemption certificate from the ZBC provincial offices only. Be compliant, stay informed. Purchase your license today to avoid any inconveniences. T's and C's apply.
Unlock global visibility at COP15. Are you a business looking to showcase your commitment to environmental sustainability? Grab this exclusive opportunity to feature your presence, products, or services at COP15 across ZBC's multimedia platforms. Highlight your leadership in climate action, connect with influential stakeholders, and elevate your brand's reputation on a national stage. Our tailored coverage options ensure your participation reaches millions through TV, digital, and more. Don't miss out on showcasing your dedication to a sustainable future. Now to learn more about our media packages on +263 712 899 514 or email velma.sakala@zbc.co.zw.
It was PSL match day 23 where unbeaten former champions FC Platinum have once again underlined their title pedigree after marching over Green Fuel in a Castle Lager Premier Soccer League match played this Saturday afternoon.
FC Platinum collected maximum points courtesy of a 1-0 victory over Green Fuel in Chisumbanje this Saturday. A well-executed free kick by Jarson Selemani from outside the box was all the visitors needed to collect maximum points and reduce the gap between them and log leader Simba Bora to 3 points. It was sweet victory which also ensured the Platinum Miners strengthened their unbeaten run heading to the home stretch. Pure Platinum play are now third on the log with 40 points, 3 shy of log leader Simba Bora who have. The nil-all stalemate leaves Moss trailing Simba Bora by a point. Ngezi Platinum Stars collected maximum points after 2 quick goals dampened the spirits of Tail 1 at Baobab. ZPC Kariba also condemned debutants Kwekwe United further into relegation after posting a 3-0 drubbing. Action continues this Sunday with the Battle of Cities featuring Capes United and Highlanders at Fufaro being the biggest match. Triangle United square off with Bikita Minerals at Gibo. Manika Diamonds first log leaders Simba Bora at Sakuva and Chicken Inn host trouble Dynamos who suspended their coach Soldier Mininka this Friday. The fixture between Scotland and the other set for Fufaro on Monday concludes match day 23 fixture. Togo's Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The Zimbabwe men's senior rugby team, the Sables' qualification for the 2027 Rugby World Cup has been described as a testament to the power of teamwork, commitment and shared dreams, a model all sports codes in the country have been urged to adopt.
After 3 decades in the wilderness, the World Cup dream for the Sables appeared to be far-fetched. While on paper the odds were against the Sables, especially against Namibia in the Rugby Africa Cup final, the motivation in the Sables camp spoke of champions, and indeed it took a new generation of sport persons to take Zimbabwe's rugby to new heights. Curious about how the Sables turned the tables against Namibia first in 2024 and then in 2025, the ZBC News crew caught up with the Sables captain, Hilton Mudariki.
In our group, we did not have a sense of panic. I think everyone was very calm. Even when Namibia scored right at the beginning there, we weren't under pressure in any way. We just knew that if we just ticked our boxes, did what we needed to do, what we had worked on over the last couple of days, we would have been fine. And thank goodness that it came through in the end.
The last time Zimbabwe participated at the Rugby World Cup was in 1991, and Mudariki was not yet born.
3 decades. And I was saying a lot of us in our team weren't born. Maybe 1 or 2 guys were born at that time. So for us to rewrite the history books was something that we had spoken about as a group. For us, I think what the motivating factor was to create heroes that other Zimbabwean boys can look up to and aspire to be. We haven't seen a green and white jersey at a World Cup in a very long time. So we've made our little contribution, to hopefully inspire St. John's boy, a PE boy, a Churchill boy, a Milton boy, to want to be a Sable, when they grow up.
At a time, sport codes like cricket, tennis and football are dropping down the ranks, Mudariki believes the Sables formula could be the only way out for Zimbabwe's sport.
Just investment in the players, investment in opportunities to play. If you look at our journey which started under Coach Pete maybe a year and a half ago, game time was always going to be the most important thing. The more we got to play together, the more that we got to know each other, the more that it became easier to produce results.
With the road to Australia 2027 cleared, Mudariki has taken up local coaching opportunities to inspire the next generation of rugby stars who will carry on with the winning DNA. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe developmental team has won bronze at the 2025 Africa Genesis Archery World Tournament, which ended in Namibia this Saturday.
The curtain has come down on the 2025 Africa Genesis Archery AGA Federation World Tournament in Walvis Bay, Namibia, after 4 intense days of high-stakes competition. Zimbabwe's participation was marked by mixed results, with encouraging signs of growth and potential despite falling short of top honors in the team events. With Zimbabwe sending 2 teams to the tournament, it was the developmental side that managed a podium finish after settling for bronze.
Our development team have won a bronze medal in the team competition, which we're proud of them for that. We're a little disappointed. We were hoping to do slightly better, but it bodes well for our future that our development guys have done as well as they have done.
Zimbabwe entered the tournament with high hopes, and top archers Andrew Manning and Rian Patel delivered standout performances, with each shooting above their personal bests.
Parents in Lupanda village in Lupane have rallied to identify and support their children's talents as part of ways to promote heritage-based learning.
7 schools from Lupanda village in Lupane gathered at Simpopoma Primary School for the 6th edition of the Lupanda Schools Tournament. The tournament is an initiative started by former Lupanda students with the aim of giving back to their community. Members of the Old Scholars Association, Tandwe Dube, gave insights on how this initiative promotes development around the area.
Ama-projects esesiwenzile manengi, siqale sikhangele ukuthi sifocuse kuma-drug, i-abuse yama-drugs, sazofocusa ekutheni si-eradicate o 0%. We've been very successful ngoba this current year asila 0% in any of the schools. Lokho kube yinto esiyenze through engagement lama-teacher, engagement labazali, engagement lama stakeholders akhona lapha esigabeni, no-DSI, ama-schools inspectors, the community at large.
As part of promoting heritage-based curriculum, guest of honor Colonel Minio Thabo Baloi Chiwenga urged parents to recognize and nurture the talents of their children.
I encourage parents and guardians and role models to encourage children for what they are good at, because it's not everyone who's good at having an A class in class. So it's up to us to try and understand what they are good at, nurture them, and make sure we support them in every possible way without judging them.
Masunga Mala School won the soccer tournament, while Simpopoma School won the netball tournament.
Well, that's a wrap on the news at 8 from us here at Pokazil, as well as our Montrose studios where Dora joined us. Natasha?
It's good night from us.
Good night.